Hello, Hope Chapel. I'm Debra Stolp. I guide the grief group here at Hope. And I found out something pretty interesting the other day that I wanted to share with you. I find it really encouraging, and I hope you do too. I know I love studying and praying the names of God, and a little while back here at Hope we studied Tony Evans and on the names of God, and that was a great study. And I remember back to many years ago when I started reading the Bible, and I read how God revealed himself to Moses as the great I am. And I thought, well, that's kind of an odd name. I am? I am what? And as I learned more, and most of you probably have too, what he meant was, I am whatever you need. What do you need me to be? Do you need me to be your healer today? I'm Jehovah Rapha. I'm your healer. I've got that covered. What about maybe there's a consistent problem in your personality you're working on and you're struggling and you're trying to get some success on it? He says not to worry. I've got that covered too. I'm Jehovah Nissi. I'm your banner. I'm your victory. Or maybe with this whole COVID-19 thing, you're having just some basic problems and fears about meeting your provisions, about paychecks not coming in or shelves at the market being emptier than you'd like. And God's telling you, don't worry about that either. I'm Jehovah Jireh. I'm your provider. I'll take care of things. So as I was praying the other day, I was praying Jehovah or Yahweh Sabaoth in his name. And that name is the God of the angel armies, the Lord of hosts. And wrap your head around that one. That one is a big one. The Lord of hosts, God of the angel armies. What does that look like? And so as I was praying on it, I got thinking and I thought, I wonder when the first time he revealed that name in the Bible. And always be alert that when you see something used for the first time, whether it's one of his names or a concept or an attribute of God, he's very deliberate and it's not by accident, and he wants you to heads up on making a point here. So I thought, I wonder when he used this term, called himself Yahweh Sabaoth. And so I looked it up, but before I did, I had a couple guesses, and I thought, okay, I wonder if it's when David went to fight Goliath. You know, that was a big deal, Lord. That was a great big battle, and I remember David saying to Goliath, you come against me, something like, you come against me with spears and arrows and javelins, but I come against you in the name of Yahweh Sabaoth, the God of the angel armies of Israel. So I thought, maybe that's the one. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Maybe it's when Joshua marched around Jericho. Maybe it was that. That was a big deal. And I had a couple other ideas, and so then I looked it up, and I was totally off base. The first time he ever revealed himself with that name was not in a big battle. It was to an ordinary woman with an ordinary problem. I thought, that's very telling, Lord. And it happened to be to Hannah, who was going up to the temple every year with her husband, and she'd cry out to the Lord because she couldn't have a child. An ordinary person with an ordinary problem. And I just felt God was saying to us is, you might think you're just an ordinary person with an ordinary problem. But I'm no ordinary God. And I want to fight for you. Let me in. Turn your heart over to me. Let me fight your battles. Don't do this one alone. And for Hannah, the result for her was she did have a baby, but it was no ordinary child. She had Samuel, who turned out to be one of the greatest prophets in the Old Testament, the greatest prophets ever. And he had the privilege of anointing the first kings of Israel. So I say to you, you're no ordinary person. You're a child of God. You're precious to Him. He sees you. He cares about you. He wants to fight your battles. And then have the experience, like the song that I love goes, then we will stand back and watch Him move. We serve a great God. God bless you, Hope Chapel.